Welcome to another episode of the Reluctant Adult Podcast. My name is Paul, and I am joined, as always, by the man who hasn't been this surprised by a result since the blue M&M defeated pink and purple in the 1995 election. Bill!
Hi, everyone. I suppose, but I do remember voting blue back in that.
No, blue was the
M&M
obvious
election. It
blue
really was.
I feel like they rigged it. I feel like that election was also rigged, because we could have pink and purple. Get out of here. What is this? Halloween? No. What is this? Easter? Those are Easter colors.
Right.
There was no chance.
You look back at it,
how
innovative, and then now it's just like every color under the rainbow. Might as well be Skittles for M&Ms.
Might as well be Skittles. Lord. But they have like different flavors. I do like when they try to have different colors for different flavors. Because there's the green
Skittles?
M&M. No, well, they have those
There
too.
was always the
M&Ms,
green M&M. The green M&M always existed.
No, there was originally there was only 3 colors. And then they did like the Christmas M&Ms, which were not originally M&Ms. There were like green and red only.
The green has
and
always
they weren't
existed.
called M&Ms. No, it was always Christmas, but it wasn't always It wasn't always called M&Ms.
You're thinking. Remember the original, the light brown M&M that they got rid of?
Light brown, like a tan?
Yeah.
Maybe. And they replaced it with dark brown?
It was red, yellow, green,
okay. What?
Brown, and light brown were the 5 colors.
And there was brown and light brown?
And then blue was the vote.
Blue was added. Well, I remember blue because I have one of those banks or like dispensers where he's playing a saxophone.
Right.
What?
Oh, I don't know.
Orange. That's right. Is orange there right now?
Oh, fucking M&Ms.
Got to go to the M&M store where you can make up your own colors. It's like going to the paint store. You bring them a swatch of color. They'll make your M&Ms for you. They'll give you a whole bag of whatever color. They'll put whatever words you want on there now.
I like when you get to go to a wedding and one of the favors is a picture of the couple on the M&Ms.
Yeah. On an M&M? Oh my God. That's too little. You need a microscope to see that. So how was your week?
Great.
Good.
Great week.
Good.
Except for being sick, so I sound really, really cool.
You do. You sound very cool. Like you smoked a pack before you got on the air.
Right.
You got your orange drink. What is that? Yeah. Is that medicinal?
No, it's cherry limeade.
Ooh. Speaking of soda.
It is not medicinal, but whatever.
Well, I mean, any sort of beverage, I feel like, if it's throat related.
Oh, fair enough.
I really like caramel as a flavor. And so I like the butterbeer that Universal does, not the like original, but they do a frozen version that's like an icy. I really like that. So I'm always trying to find a version of that flavor that I don't have to go to Universal to get. And Sonic, the restaurant. Do you have Sonic up there, the drive-through?
We have one, and it's a hike to get to. So once it's a hike to get to it, it's not even worth going to.
It's not, their food's not great, but they have lots of drinks, and they usually do like happy hour, like BOGO or something.
Yeah.
But anyways, they announced they are offering 3 new flavors, and one of them was like buttery something. I don't remember. But I was like, oh, maybe this will taste like butterbeer. So I get it. It's literally root beer, and they pour caramel syrup into it. So it doesn't mix. It's just you kind of get some in the straw, and then when you're done, there's a big glop of it on the bottom.
Sits on the bottom. That's shameful. I mean,
it was delicious.
The Torini stuff. It was okay. Well, that's good.
It was very odd. I drank it all. But it was very odd. But if anyone knows a good butterbeer dupe, I'm all ears because I do love that flavor. But I don't want to go to Universal. Speaking of theme parks, for my sons, they have birthdays either last week or this upcoming weekend. So we took them to Walt Disney World's Magic Kingdom to experience that. The younger one's never been to Disney, and the older one hasn't been since before the younger one was born. So it's been a long time.
Right.
So he didn't remember
Yeah.
a lot of it. So we took him to Magic Kingdom. It was great. We got to meet the characters. We went on we have the weekday passes because weekends are just insane. There's no reason to even try. And they're doing the Christmas party already. So if you're just a normal pass holder, they kick you out at 6. But it's actually good because fewer people choose to go on these days during the morning. They either get the tickets for the party or they just don't go at all because you don't get a full day. So the waits were not very long at all. It was a great experience. But it was also the first time that we've gone that they've had these Lightning Lane passes. Are you familiar with the Lightning Lane?
It depends on what version we're talking about, but yeah.
So
I'm
Lightning
familiar.
Lane replaced Genie Plus, which we avoided completely. We never went because Genie Plus came in like after COVID, and then Lightning Lane replaced that, and then Genie Plus replaced Fast Pass, and Fast Pass was a free service, and originally it had paper tickets. And that was awesome because sometimes you would go and it would spit out an extra for like Philhar Magic or one of the less attended attractions. So that eventually became digital, and it was still fine because you got to pick the times and the attractions you wanted, and sometimes they would run out, and that was just sort of the
ticket situation.
The folly of it
was the experience of running to get to the ticket.
You would run because you as a kiosk, a physical ticket it would spit out. It was great.
And
so now they're doing Lightning Lane.
It was great, but whatever. I digress.
Lightning Lane is it's sort of similar, except you have to pay. So there's two options. Some of the rides are so amazing, are so popular, that you have to buy a special Lightning Lane just for that ride. Like Star Wars, the new Star Wars, I believe, is that way. Tiana's, like that replaced Splash Mountain, that's one. And then there's another one, I can't remember, maybe the Minecart. Tron, probably. Although I think Tron has a virtual queue, which is a whole other thing. So like when we did Epcot, we did virtual queue for the Guardians ride. But you can also do Lightning Lane if you miss out on the virtual queue. It's very complicated. Disney is very complicated now. It takes, you need like a master's degree in theme parkology. It's crazy. But if you do it right, it's okay. So anyway, so we did this thing where you get to pick 3 Lightning Lane experiences. And then once you do one, you get to add another one. So if there's anything left for the day, you can keep adding new ones. So in theory, you start with 3, you could do 6, you could do 9, depending on how quickly you start and how quickly you burn through them. They're going to add a premier Lightning Lane where the price range can be upwards of $300 per person per day. And that allows you to do every ride in the park Lightning Lane. But, we paid $30 per person for the 3, and we ended up doing 6 or 7. So like we almost got to every ride. I cannot imagine paying $300. It would have been almost $1,000 for the 3 of us plus the baby, who will be 3 forever. Because you get into Disney until you're 3, he's gonna be 3 forever. So I just feel like this is insane that they're gonna do this. If they keep the Lightning Lane the way it is now, fine. It still sucks that you have to pay more money, but it's not a ton, and if you can walk right onto stuff. But we were able to walk right onto stuff without the Lightning Lane. So it's just a nice little extra. But the problem with Fast Pass and with Lightning Lane is you don't get the full queue. You don't get to walk you don't get to walk through the full queue. You get this like shortened version of the line. So you get on the ride faster, but you don't get to experience the whole presentation. So that's the downside. So you have to sort of decide what's more important to you. I like if ET at Universal had like a Fast Pass, I would never do it because the queue is so much better than the actual ride. I love that queue.
I've never done the Smuggler's Run. I've never waited in line for that. I've always had
the Fast Pass
or the Genie Plus there. Yeah. And that's like going like, rather than like going around and seeing the animatronic Hondo Inaka and seeing the back end of the Millennium Falcon, they just bring you through like corridors.
Right.
And
it's not as exciting.
It's like, what is this? It's a hallway. Ugh.
I know. I don't like it. It's not themed. I don't care. I think I only did that at Smuggler's Run once because the ride itself is not great, but I wanted to see the queue. Queue is not super impressive. It's basically like back hallways, and there's like, random whatever shit. It's just, it's not like Luke Skywalker's popping up. And the same thing with the Guardians of the Galaxy thing. There's a couple video screens with actors that are in the ride, but it's like, I don't care. But because that's virtual queue, you get through it pretty quick. So that's fine. Oh, well, okay. So I was there Friday, and someone else from the action figure podcast community happened to be there at the same time. Our buddy Eric from Adventures in Collecting. He took his family on a nice extended Disney vacation. They were there for the Christmas party, so they got to stay, but the rest of us got kicked out, and he wanted to meet up. But I was we were like at the end of the day, and I'm like, I can't. We got to get out of here. The kids were breaking down.
We got to keep this professional.
We got to keep this professional. But the oldest kid was like concerned that they weren't gonna let us leave. I guess because he's because we told him we got to leave by 6, and it was almost 6. We were doing the People Mover, and that was it.
Yeah.
And he's like scared. I'm like, it's not like they're gonna throw us in Disney jail because we haven't left yet. Right. It's not even closing. They're just gonna start blocking off sections for people without the
at that point it's an armband situation is what they usually do. That's how it works.
The wristbands were weird. It was like a fabric. It looked to me like something Jack Sparrow would wear. Like it had the tail extra part. It wasn't like a paper your traditional yellow or orange. It was, I didn't like it. I didn't love it. It didn't
I don't
seem
miss
like
Disney
themed.
that much. I want to convince my wife to go to Universal because I feel like the kids, at least my son now, appreciates more Universal than he does Disney stuff.
Sure.
So
Jurassic Park, Harry Potter.
Exactly. But that's a theme park for him. I forgot about Jurassic Park and Harry Potter.
Oh,
God damn.
Oh, yeah.
And right now he's just into Minions and the Grinch, and it's like, what the hell am I doing here?
It. Yeah,
the whole thing.
You gotta go to Universal. That's perfect for him. Yeah, I'm in the Disney age for my kids because the little one loves Mickey. He was so excited to meet the characters. The very first character we met was Mickey right at the front, and he was scared. But then we met Tigger and Pooh over by their ride, and he was fine. And eventually we met Daisy and Minnie over at Dumbo's Circus, and he loved it. It was great. It was really fun. So they had a good time. Looking forward to the next time we get to it. We got to go to Animal Kingdom before they shut down Dinosaur, because the older kid loves dinosaurs. We got to check that out. I think he would be afraid of the ride.
No, you got to get the picture of him on the ride. You have to do it.
That's my favorite ride-on picture, because I know exactly what it is, and I always over-exaggerate my fear. And then people always laugh at the photo when they see me. I was like, it makes me feel good. But I'm happy to be a Disney Pass holder again. It's fun. Doing it during the week is the way to go because the crowds aren't as crazy.
Sure.
So yeah, if Disney wants to sponsor us in any way, send us to some what's the word? What are we? We're not collaborators. We're
press.
No, but what's the you have a Twitter. What are you called? You're one of those internet people. There's a word for us.
An influencer?
Influencers. We're influencers. Wow. We influence people. We do, though. We influence people. And
we do.
One of the ways we influence people is through our interviews, our reluctant adult conversations. And last week, I had the opportunity. Well, we both had the opportunity. You chose not to participate, but I had the opportunity to speak to Rob and Holly from Collegiate Legends, because I honestly, figure of the year right here for me. Figure of the year, the Alabama generic.
I'll take your word for it.
Generic player. What was I gonna say? Oh, okay. So I was doing, before the interview, because I'm a professional, I was doing some research on the people, Rob and Holly. And Rob, he is responsible for Savage Crucible, and we know about that.
Yeah.
At least I do. You know about them too.
I've seen them, yeah.
They've done a Kickstarter. They've got some really super detailed, hyper articulated. They're fantasy themed, sort of in that realm like the Four Horsemen do. It's like they're humanoid, but creatures or barbarians. Yeah. But those are great figures. People like those. So it makes sense that these figures are as good as they are. And I had no idea. I just thought this was like some, I don't even know what I thought, but they're great. And they have a very bright future ahead of them because they have a lot of teams want to work with them. They're going to do mascots, which is very exciting. I feel like doing mascots, I think just from like the customizability standpoint, like people are going to be buying these by the truckload to make into their own creatures.
Yeah.
Do you think they'll ever get around to doing the mascot from our alma mater? What even is our mascot? A falcon? Was there a mascot though? Like a guy in a costume?
Maybe. they probably just found some pigeon feathers and like taped them onto some random homeless guy.
Do you ever wish you like had more college spirit? Like went to like one of these colleges that like
I think I'm on the record in stating why I don't have more college spirit and why my experience like right off the bat. Because I was a commuter.
Didn't have any events for you, yeah.
They had no events for me, and then I was like, well, I'm stuck here now.
Yeah, I really just was ready to work. I just wanted to be in the industry, do something. And then by the end of it, I was like, I don't want to go to California. I don't want to go anywhere. I just want to live in my little town. But it all worked out fine. But, you know,
right.
Obviously there are people who either live near or go to these big schools and they have crazy. That was one of the things that Rob was explaining to me is that college football is on, you know, case by case basis, but it can be a bigger deal than professional football depending on the area. He said that the Alabama stadium is twice the size of the stadium where the New England Patriots play, Gillette Stadium.
Right.
Which is like, what the hell? But then he was also like, I asked him why has no one tried to make college football action figures before if there's clearly a market for them? And he explained that Hasbro would love to sell 150,000 units of each character, and there's just not 150,000 people willing to buy a college football action figure.
Of course.
So the fact that Hasbro tried it with starting lineup, but they tried it in such a way that they thought they could attract like sports memorabilia people, because they knew that there weren't going to be enough just action figure fans. So they knew from the start it wasn't going to work unless they had these additional fans come on board. And obviously that did not work. So
I appreciated what Holly said about bringing her kid to the games and being like, we either have a stuffed animal or a t-shirt. And there's no in between. No. And your kid already has enough stuffed animals, and the shirt you grow out of eventually. Right. And how about a nice tangible action figure? I think that's a lot more fun. Yeah.
And then like if they start adding more, you know, different size characters, you can get a linebacker, a bigger guy, you can go back, you get another one. So that's like, you know, like Funko is trying to do like pop yourself with the professional football. Like that's very smart. Like you would love to see yourself on the jersey of the team. So these are very smart moves, and it seems like they're going to work out for everybody. But it was interesting to like really get an understanding of why the starting lineup toys from Hasbro probably didn't work out, and how it was never going to work just selling it to normal action figure fans, because there's just not enough of us that would care about these sports athletes. Sports athletes.
Sports athletes.
It really sounds like you know what I'm talking about. Sports athletes. Sports ball guys, you know.
Yeah.
But for a smaller company who doesn't need to sell 75,000 units or SKUs, so we do sound like we know what we're talking about, it works out a little bit better. And they're only charging $40 per figure, which is like, how much do Marvel Legends cost now? 25? Getting up there. So it's not a crazy deal, and it's a very fun figure. So check out that interview. We get into the weeds about the articulation and the choices that were made and what else could be coming down the pike. So, and then again, thank you to the Billy from the Zero to Hero podcast for stepping in and sharing his sports knowledge. Yes,
and I love his wish list.
His wish list, yeah. There was a part where he was talking about the specific like helmets that the different universities have. And I was like, thank you. That's a good question that I never would have thought of. So very happy to have him on board. And we have another Reluctant Adult conversation coming up this week where I am going to talk to the Michael Jordan of Michael Jordan Collecting, Josh Vanny. I don't know how he pronounces his name. But Josh, he's actually from Perth, West Australia. And I found out today that Australia has 5 time zones. We were trying to coordinate how to do this. He is 13 hours ahead of me. So I was trying to figure out when is a sane time for both of us to be awake. So I'm hopefully going to talk to him this week, and you can look forward to that show. We're talking about Michael Jordan collecting, which is big business. And then, as if that's not enough, making this an international show, we also could have an upcoming interview with a person from the UK who wants to talk to us about Squishmallows.
Oh, is that Danny Mallows? Is it Danny Mellows or Mallows?
I think it's Mallows,
Yes.
like Mallow,
Is it Mallows?
Marshmallows,
Yeah.
Squishmallows,
It's Squishmallows, but then if you
Squishmallows, Danny Mellows,
Mallows,
Mallows.
it's not Squishmallows. No,
It's not Squishmallows. But maybe her name is unrelated. That's just her native name, her given name. So anyway,
I think her given name is Danielle, but not. Maybe it's Danielle Mallows.
No, but right, Danielle Mallows. I think that's just her.
Yeah.
We'll check her ID.
Well, you know what we'll do? I will sub out of that one. I'll put my kid in place of me.
Perfect. Yeah.
How about we just have our kids do the interview?
Well, that's what I think is a good idea. I think we just have our kids do the interview. But that's another one with the time zone. We have to kind of figure out like when we're going to do this. So maybe that'll be like a weekend show where if it's like during the day.
We've handled the UK. What time was that at? Was it 5 p.m. for us? Yeah, we talked to
on like a weekend, like a Sunday.
I want to say it was a Sunday at 5 for us.
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll figure it out. But that's just if you have any questions about Squishmallows, if you'd like to learn more, I know they're made by Jazzwares, Jeremy Padower. Maybe we get him on. We do a 4-way conversation. That would be interesting.
This is the ladder. These are the ladder rungs we're climbing to get to the top.
Right.
Yes.
We're spreading our little fingers out through the toy world. Like you never know who's listening to these different channels. So
it's true, and collecting's for everyone. So I look forward to your interview with the Michael Jordan of Michael Jordan Collectibles, and maybe I'll show up for that because that's a reasonable time for me. We'll see if I have an invite.
Well, absolutely, 100%. It's going to be early for me. It's going to be 9 a.m, so I got to get some coffee. Or my
I could drink coffee during the episode.
Yeah, I was gonna get like one of those old timey like, bed caps with the long part of it, not with the little ball at the end. But like
are you really not up at 9 a.m?
No, I am. It's very early for me.
You know what I was doing this morning at 6:30?
There's a 6:30 in the morning. What?
I was sitting at the kitchen table playing. You know what my son's into now is Leonard Aliens and like the Alien movies.
Wow.
And
your son's cool.
He is cool, yeah. 6:30 in the morning, I've got the Leonard Aliens out with him and the Kenner Queen Hive playset.
Yeah.
And we're at the table for 2 hours playing, and I'm like, I gotta stop.
What are you, Bluey? Can't play that long. That's ridiculous.
I was playing that long, man.
Send that bar too high. What's Leonard doing these days? They were in Walmart for a second. What are they making now?
No, they were in Walmart for quite some time, and I haven't seen them in Walmart for a while. They did. They did.
That's who we need to talk
Rampage.
to. Rampage.
Yeah, well, they're UK based as well. I mean, they're still based off in the UK. Yeah, they're huge out there.
Oh, very interesting.
Reach out to them. They're great.
Yeah, I would love to
have them send us some free stuff. I love their stuff.
Yeah.
No, that Aliens and Predator line was fantastic, but they did Rampage. Did
they do Predator?
Yeah, they did Predator.
I remember there was a dog. A Rottweiler.
Yes, the Rottweiler, yeah.
Oh, yeah. All right. Well, we'll look into that and see if they got anything coming out if they want to talk to us.
Oh, sure.
We should really get someone from Moose because we've worked with them before, but we've never talked to them.
No.
Oh, tomorrow I'm supposed to get paid for that
We
Mr.
should.
Beast thing. I'm supposed to get paid. I forgot. He hasn't been sued into oblivion yet. What should we do?
Let's talk to someone from Mattel and find
what
out
part?
what the hell's going on.
Oh.
How about
From the Barbie division or the doll division?
I mean, I guess just from the Wicked division.
The Wicked, yeah.
Yeah.
So this is hilarious.
This is some spicy stuff. I love this.
This broke last night, and today it was all over the place. So Wicked, the movie, is coming out for Thanksgiving, and to promote it, they're making toys, they're making stuff. Target apparently is going to have
everywhere.
Target's balls are going to be dressed up as Wicked. I saw a picture of that. I'm definitely going to steal that.
I've got cakes at my store and cupcake things and everything, rings and picks and everything. Yeah.
So Mattel is making Barbie adjacent dolls for Wicked, and on the packaging, as most companies do, they put the website for the product, and you can go, and you want to learn more about the product or the IP, check it out. So on the bottom of these boxes, it says go to wicked.com. Now, if you're at work and you want to check that this is true, please do not, because you will be met with a screen that says, are you 18 and over? Because this is a site for pornography. Wicked.com.
I mean, the adults are very lucky that screen is there first and not what's beyond that screen, because let me tell you,
you did some investigative work.
I had to find out.
You had to do it.
I had to see if it was legit. Yes.
Yes. Does it require a credit card to go much further is the question.
Well, if you go and you get the credit card, you also get like a live agent just pop up and try to offer you 50% off.
Oh, well, that's a good deal.
Which is great. It's a deal. What a deal.
I want 100% off. Take it all off. Yeah. So this is a big mistake. This is a problem. It's a big problem. And I wonder if this will become a collector's item, because what I've seen, somebody posted a picture of the dolls being sold at Universal. And the solution that they found was to just take a Sharpie and marker over it instead of recalling the item.
I think that's what Mattel will probably end up doing, is going in with like a rep and like either a thing of tape or a Sharpie.
Yeah, like a little sticker.
And,
yeah.
Daddy,
that's probably a cheaper solution.
What?
Sir, please do not vandalize the Barbie dolls. No, I'm trying to make it safe for children. I'm trying to save the children. I'm calling the cops. Adults are banned from the toy aisle. Remember?
And this establishment, Wicked, it's a store of some kind. Don't tell them you are. It's a pornography store. I was buying
pornography. Imagine buying pornography. Come on.
I just imagine in this day and age, you have to do your due diligence here and be like, what websites are taken at this point in time?
All of them.
You have to... Wicked,
yeah. Really? You thought the Play from like a few years ago got that domain? That Play that did not exist in the 90s? You don't think anybody scooped up wicked.com?
Come on. There was probably some boardroom, and they're probably like, you know what? We put Wicked the movie, and they're like, no one's gonna go to that. That's too many letters. Get rid of it.
Too many letters. Well, what they started doing is like wicked.film or something. They like had a new domain, but they were like, not .com. So, so some children will be learning some things. Some theater children will be learning some things this week, which I think is fine. Honestly, like, they're going to learn.
It's going to be popular.
Kids today, who knows what they're doing? They all got the iPads. It's wild out there.
Not my kid. I took my iPad away.
They're going to be teaching prayer in school soon. So you took the iPad away? Why?
Because it was changing her mind.
Yeah. That's what it does.
She's 3 weeks sober off of YouTube and everything. It's great.
Did you get her the chip? Your 3 week sober chip? There you go.
I should. Well, I got my kid back is what I got, which is fantastic.
You've identified a like people, they have like gambling in their
Yes.
blood or whatever. You've identified something in her. She's going to be susceptible to I can't think of the word. Like what are we? We're like obsessed with collecting or something. There's like a word for it. And it's that. it's that thing. That's what she is. So you got to keep an eye on her. Yeah. Well, that's good. My kids, I don't have enough attention to not have the iPad. They got to have the iPad. Like, I'm sorry for the future version of themselves if it's worse off because of the iPad, but they're smart enough. The little one, we did potty training this weekend, went beautifully. 2 days, he's completely potty trained. He's going back to school tomorrow. Hopefully it follows through. It's not my problem. It's going to be the teacher's problem because we're not sending diapers anymore. Clean it up.
Oh, no. My kid's a little potty training rat at school.
He rats out the kids?
He rats out. Well, he tells us what happens in the bathroom.
Oh, yeah. Kids love to tattle.
He's fully potty trained, but he's like, hey, you know what so-and-so did today? And I was like, what? Peed all over the floor. And I'm like, wow. Great.
Oh, your kid sounds like when John Mulaney does an impression of like a 1950s anything. I love it. You need to get him his own show. I would watch that.
Who, my son? Oh my God, it would sound raspy.
Yeah, your son.
He'd sound like
I want to hear like the Daily Report
Robert
of
Kennedy
what
Jr.
the kids
there.
are doing.
Like this.
Yeah. Era. I would watch that show 100%.
I would watch, if I could put my kid on YouTube and not have to deal with the Ryan's Toys stuff, I probably would, but
I don't know what the state of kids on YouTube is right now because there was Ryan's World, and he's obviously too old now, and then there were the two, like, Vlad and Nikki or whatever.
Right.
And I think they're done, too, because I haven't seen those toys.
Yeah, I don't think
or they're, like, all in, like, the clearance section and, like, the
just find them at Ollie's.
So are there any current, or is it just like Mr. Beast? Like, there's no kids doing it. All the kids just watch these older gentlemen on YouTube now. Is that what's happening?
It's a good question. I don't know.
I don't know if it's better or worse. The kids should be watching us. No, please don't watch us.
They should be.
No. Listen, if you enjoy the show and you're a child, good for you. But it's not for you. It's for other people our age. So we can all commiserate about how we've been forced to grow up in this world that like, we're the only sane generation. Us as elder millennials. Our parents are insane. The generation after us is insane. Like, we're the only generation who grew up before the internet, but also with the internet. We're the only generation that had the internet but still had to write bibliographies and like just couldn't use AI and Wikipedia to do our work for us. So it's like, we understand when we're trying to be scammed on the internet. No other generation seems to have a grasp on the fact that they're being scammed. Why are we left to be the only sane voices of reason in this world, Bill?
It's a good question. And I also find myself allowed to be able to manipulate those generations as well to my own entertainment.
That's the bright side of it. Right. But there's too many of them, and they're ruining it for all of us. Yeah, we're going to go down in flames because there's not enough of us to do anything about it. We need to start our own planet, but all the good ones are taken by crazy South Africans. But I bet you wish you kept that Dogecoin now, or Dogecoin. I bet you wish you still had that. To the moon!
To the moon.
All right. You know what? If you want to hear more about that, follow me on Twitter. But we're going to be right back after this fake commercial.
Doot.
Hey, Bill.
Hey, Paul.
Go pop yourself.
No, you go pop yourself.
You go pop yourself. You go pop yourself. I'm going to pop my wife. Ooh. Don't talk about my wife. That's my wife. So we mentioned this actually early in the show that Funko does this pop yourself where it's like you put your head or, a Funko version, a very generic version of yourself on a Funko body, and they have different clothes you can wear, and then they were starting to do NFL, and they started to roll out, they did like Dunkin' Donuts, the Dun Kings for that Super Bowl commercial. Right. There's like other little ones, like seasonal one they sprinkle in there. They rolled out recently Harry Potter. So now there are 4 flavors of Harry Potter. You can be the different schools, and each one comes with 2 little buddies, 2 little mini pops. Houses. Yes, houses. What did I say?
Schools.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Well, there are different
only
schools,
one
right?
school.
Like the different countries.
There are.
No, there's different.
Yeah, different countries have different schools.
Excuse me. Different houses. Yeah. So, and each one comes with a little like mini pops of like their animal. You know, like each house has an animal, and then there's like a mini other related animal. So this is great.
Sure.
This is great. This is one gift off my wife's checklist because she loves Harry Potter, and like who wouldn't want to be a Harry Potter character? Would you like to be a Harry Potter? You don't want to be a Harry Potter. What would be your, like, if you were gonna do a pop yourself, what theme could exist that you couldn't resist?
What theme?
Yeah.
Fudge. That's an on the spot question. Like a generic.
Well, sure.
I mean, I don't know.
All right, we'll come back to it. Like a Civil War reenactor? Like, what would you like to be?
That would be it. Yeah, that would be it.
We have
Civil War reenactor.
The bayonet. That would be fun.
Maybe me as like a Continental soldier, or like George Washington in his.
Oh, that's good. Yeah,
fatigues.
But it wouldn't look like you if you had the wig. It wouldn't be.
That's true. But that's, you know what, that's the issue I have with these pops in general. Is like you have to really It's one of those items where you have to explain first that it's you, and then that person's like, yeah, I guess I can see it.
I guess I see it. Well, it's like how I got mine. My family made me one for me. And then when they were doing the Deadpool pops, it was the literal exact face that mine had. Like, it was, the hair and the eyes, and there's only like so many options that you can change. But then you get the clothes, so it's fun. But, I mean, that's kind of the same problem that Hasbro had with the Selfie series, where they only had these different face shapes, and if your face shape didn't match that, it wasn't going to really look like you. At least with the pop, you kind of know that going in. I would probably, if they did the Power Rangers, I'd probably like that. But I guess at this point, I have the head. I could just pop it up whatever I want. I don't know if the neck pegs are all the same. Like the Star Wars ones have the bobblehead.
I would probably do like an Ewok, but like
that'd be cute.
The Ewok head off.
So yes, like holding the head, like a mascot.
The scenes Ewok, like a mascot.
Right, you were
maybe
a
that's
smoke
what
break
I would be.
Ewok.
I would be a mascot. Perfect.
Yeah.
I would be even better. I would be
Nub.
I would be a cereal mascot. Is what I would be.
Oh,
Tony the Tiger, or the Lucky Charms Lucky Leprechaun.
I never thought of them having actual physical mascots, except in that movie, the Seinfeld movie about Pop-Tarts. They had they had, what was his name? The fancy British man. Who's the fancy British man from like that movie you like, Christmas movie? Hugh Grant. Hugh Grant played Tony the Tiger.
Oh wow!
But he was like classical actor. I actually really like that movie. I know people don't like that Pop-Tart movie, but I thought it was funny. So yeah, Harry Potter, go pop yourself. Great. Moving on. Let's see what else. Okay, this is funny. Spin Masters got the DC license. We saw them do stuff for the Flash movie that had Batman, and then they did a series of Batman like through the ages movie stuff.
Yes.
I don't feel like those did super well because they were kind of there, and now I feel like I saw one at Ross. I don't think they did well.
I mean, I like the box art and the Batwing.
Yeah.
I think you get the Batwing for like $15.
They're not expensive. That was kind of the deal. They were cheap, but they weren't. They were like 4 inches, so they weren't going to be like fantastic. Even if they were the best ever, even if they were the best 4 inches you ever had, they weren't going to be the best.
Ooh.
Just saying, it's not going to measure up to your 1/6. Just saying.
Dang it.
So, but they still have this license, and we saw they're putting out a 4-pack, I believe, of 12-inch figures, sort of their version of the soap bottle figures. And these are individual figures. There's just 4 in the set, and it's Batman, Robin, Superman, and Joker in Christmas colors with a fabric Santa hat.
Wow. Oh, okay. So they just it's different molded plastic and then an added fabric hat. Wow.
Fabric hat. I don't know if it's glued on. At least Robin's hat is green, so it kind of matches his color scheme.
Okay.
But I think this is going to be like an end cap, kind of like, you know, at Target they have the seasonal and they have like sort of just like stocking stuffer stuff.
Yeah.
I think this is considered like a stocking stuffer. So I don't know if you want to stuff your stocking with a little Christmas Batman, but you have that option this year.
Stocking with a couple extra inches.
Well, yeah, it's not the 4-inch. You get the full 12 inches in your stocking.
Full 12 inches stuffing my stocking.
Stocking. Spin Masters knows what's up. Special treat for Christmas. Let's see. Speaking of holiday sales, we mentioned last week that Mondo finally put up for pre-order their first real Ghostbusters set with Peter Venkman and Sam Hain. Yeah. And I mistakenly said that it was sold out, and that is not the case. I just could not find it on the Mondo website. It is still up there. It's actually available to pre-order until November 26th.
Okay.
But last week, there was, well, the first week it went up, there was some confusion because it was not qualifying for free shipping, even though their 12-inch figures normally do. And there was some back and forth, and eventually they retroactively fixed it so that everyone is getting free shipping. It's like, come on, what are you doing here? You making us spend $200 on this? You're not going to give us free shipping. But then there was also an additional holiday sale that was knocking $25 off the price of the 2-pack, but I believe that sale has ended because I'm looking at it right now, and I only see the full price. So if you missed out, you could have saved $25. But there are some payment plans if you care to still buy it. I'm still upset that it costs so much.
Yeah,
I just don't think. But I guess this is sort of their MO because they do these 12-inch figures for $200, and half of 12-inch is 6-inch, and half of 200 is 100. So the math checks out.
Yeah,
I guess we should not have been surprised at these prices.
No, I'm still holding out hope that Hasbro's going to throw something out there for the real Ghostbusters.
That'd be pretty wild. That would be pretty wild. They just sort of
I think it's going to happen.
Made good figures. I mean, the Mondo figures are pretty ideal. I've said that since they weren't even official. And it was just that person showing off his work. And it's like, oh, okay, this is exactly what I want these to look like. But if Hasbro wants to give us a cheaper alternative, I'm not going to be bad about that. No. They may not look as good.
Well, I'm putting all my eggs into the Ecto one. I think I'm going to pass on the real Ghostbusters. The Ecto one's a dream vehicle for the 1/12 scale.
And then you can stop collecting. That's your final vehicle.
Yeah. I checked the Kickstarter for the DeLorean tonight. It's got a delayed shipping, but I saw a video of what that does, so yeah.
I checked the HasLab just before we started, and it hasn't ticked up much. It has not funded. It's currently just above 900, and it needs to get to 1,200. So it's within striking distance. I'm not concerned.
9,000, and it needs to get to 12,000.
Would I say 900 and 1,200?
You said 900 and 1,200.
Yeah.
Very low numbers. Very low numbers.
It's a very low run. I don't know why people aren't getting it. Yeah. So it's got 3,000, less than 3,000 to go, and it has until the end of this month. So do I think it's going to happen? Yeah, I think it's going to happen. Of course. Especially now that, you get everything. You get the extra Lewis, which I think was a very smart move. You wouldn't want to have it fail just because of one figure. I think Hasbro kind of smartened up about that. Like, just give everybody everything. Let us decide. Just give us time. So I haven't decided if I'm gonna back it, but I feel like I should, because just based on the cost of raw materials, I feel like the price is gonna skyrocket when it finally comes out, and I'll be able to flip it for more than it costs, just based on economics. It's a smart idea. Yeah, but we shall see. We'll see. Either I'll forget about it or I won't.
Let me tell you about a tragic story about HasLabs. So the the G.I. Joe classified Dragonfly is on route.
Shipping. Yeah.
Shipping. People are receiving it in the States.
I've seen it, yeah.
I was due to have mine yesterday. I was going to present it on the show.
Oh.
However, I was at work, and HasLabs require a signature from FedEx to be released. No. And my wife was out seeing a movie with the children.
No.
This movie called Hit Pig. Which,
what?
Have you heard of this movie? Hit Pig?
Hit Pig?
She sent me the name of it, and I said, did you spell that wrong? What is this?
Hit Pig?
Hit
Autocorrect?
Pig.
What the hell?
Hit Pig.
It's an animated movie. Jason Sudeikis.
It is animated.
Andy Serkis.
So needless to say...
Who makes this?
She gets on the Ring camera with the FedEx driver. Guy goes, yes. I need a signature. And she says, well, no one's home. And he just takes the box and walks off with it.
Yeah. They won't. They don't play.
It's so bad. And, like, I'm trying to go on the service now because it's supposed to be delivered tomorrow. And once again, I'm at work. Yeah, my wife's at work. No one will be home. I'm trying to reroute it to my father-in-law's house, and they won't allow me to do it.
So what are you going to do?
I don't know.
What's the solution here?
So I wrote on a piece of paper and taped it to the door with my signature on it saying, FedEx driver, I authorize you to drop this off.
God. Get like a fake hand with a pen and just have him like move it around underneath.
We'll see if that works because it's driving me crazy because it's like
put a tattoo of your signature and be like, just apply this with a sponge and you're good to go.
Saturday afternoon.
Digital.
I went so far yesterday that I left work and then tried to go find the driver.
Oh, you chased him down?
I couldn't find him. That would work.
I don't think that would work. He'd be like, hey, I'm that guy that lives at that address. And it's like, prove it.
I've got ID.
I got ID. I guess you could prove it. Yeah, it'd be very strange. He's like, wow, there must be something really important in this. Is it like medicine or something?
Yeah.
No, it's a G.I. Joe helicopter. Like, oh my God, here, you need that immediately.
Right?
I bet he would get it. I bet the mail people, because people get crazy about their mail. Nobody's just shipping stuff they don't care about. Like, I want that stuff. Give it to me. I haven't got mail in a long time. I'd love to get some mail. If anybody wants to send me mail, just send me a message. I'll give you my home address. You can send me mail. You can give me a straight off my name and address. I don't even care.
It's the holiday season. Maybe you'll get some Christmas cards or something like that.
Oh, keep those. Keep them though. Send me the cash at cost. The $4 you would have paid at Target. Can we advance beyond Christmas cards at this point? First of all, I do not have the capacity to write a statement to you in this little one chance box. It's like, what am I gonna type it up first? It's like, I can't just think and write. That's not how it works anymore. I need to be able to put in an AI and
here's the more amazing thing. You go to Target and you say, I can't buy a DVD anymore because there's no DVD aisle.
No DVD aisle.
But have you ever seen a reduction in the card aisle? It's bizarre.
No, because there's this generation that holds on to them. That they would rather send a card than actual gift. It goes immediately in the trash. It could be the nicest card ever. It's going immediately in the trash. What am I supposed to do with this thing? Send me an e-card. Then at least I can click it and I'll have it open in a window. I'm not going to watch it, but I'll have it open so you can see I clicked it. No, but I do appreciate sending me things. So again, if you'd like to send me something, if you've sent me something in the past and you already have my address, send me something else. Send me anything you got. I will talk about it on the show. We need to start doing that. Like all those people like Lord Legends, they like get fan mail and then they talk about it.
Yeah, they get their P.O. box, but do you want to
then they get more fan mail? Well, I was talking about it. How much does it cost to get a P.O. box? Because the post office is like right down the street from me. Would not be hard to go pick it up.
It's probably like $30 a month.
That's not bad. But I don't know that we're there yet. That people are sending us stuff. Nobody's simping. Nobody's simping us. Start simping. All right. What else have we got to talk about this week? Let's go back to Mondo for a second because they showed off this Batman Beyond figure, which I think looks great.
Yeah.
Did a very nice job. They included a lot of extras, including the baby egg that I had asked you about. I said, what is this baby egg? And you said
that it was from the episode where he had a school project. It was like, do you ever remember child development class?
Of course.
In high school?
Of course. Yes.
And you had to keep the egg alive.
Keep it unbroken. Yeah.
And unbroken. So this was the future version of said project.
Because it was like a real living, like it had a face. It was like alive.
It had a face,
in some
yeah.
way.
It was like a Tamagotchi.
Right. Okay, it was like digital. Yeah.
Yes.
I can't tell you how that real world experience of keeping an egg unbroken does not prepare you for parenthood in any way, because your child will fall a lot, but they will not crack. In fact, you are by the time the second child rolls around, you're not even concerned when they fall, because they just bounce right back up.
They do.
They are made of rubber. They don't even have kneecaps until a few years into their life. They are fine. A broken egg, seems like it's the end of the world, but it's not.
Right?
Put that egg in front of an iPad. It's good to go. Probably cook it from all the radiation coming off of your iPad.
Oh, blue light.
But I like this Mondo Batman. I've never seen somebody's collection that has Mondo stuff. It must be like collecting Hot Toys, because it's all 12 inches. It's like takes up a lot of space.
Right.
Like the He-Man
Hot
stuff.
Toys
Actually,
guys, they're all like curated cabinets. And,
I know. It's crazy. It's crazy. But with the with Mondo, has any of it shipped? Like, they put up a lot of pre-orders, especially like for He-Man, but is any of it in hand yet? I guess it has, because I've heard they had to do
a
like
lot of the Marvel
replacement.
Stuff.
Right. They had to do replacement heads for the Rogue figure. So like people have that. I always thought that these figures were almost like an artist's representation or interpretation of the characters. But I guess they're supposed to be like straight up from the show. But there was something about them that I was like, oh, this is like based on the show, but not exact. But I think they're supposed to be exact from the shows. I don't know. I think it's just the size that throws me. It reminds me of when Toy Biz would like upscale their figures and sell them at toy stores, like the 10-inch figures.
Yes.
I was
Best
like,
way to get it.
Why?
Hey, there were a couple that you wanted. You wanted to get an Apocalypse because it made sense.
True. Yeah, made sense. Yeah.
Who else? I had a few of those.
I remember there was the Ninja Wolverine, the gold. Oh, like,
well, that was the other thing too. They had all the metallic variants as well.
Yes.
And I just remember they were like, the line was good for my brother at the time because it was simple, basic, and large. And for me, it was more curated because I was like, these need to make sense in this area of Toy Biz figures. Hence,
I'm just thinking,
the large.
Describe yourself in 3 words. Simple, basic, and large. All right. There's just something about that. All right, that's fine. That
sounds
like
very
really
appealing. I don't know.
It's not really selling it, but okay, there we go. I think they had a Beast figure, and he still came with that that
suction
grip
cup
thing.
Yes,
yeah,
he did. No, they had everything.
Apparatus.
I mean, if I go in, did I have Gambit? Did Gambit have the really cheesy, shitty cape?
I think he had a better cape. It was like pleather.
Was it like? Yeah, it was pleather. That's right.
Yeah, it was much better than the regular figure.
Yes, and then I think they made a metallic version of that one, and it made more sense because it was a nice. It wasn't like a dull color. It had like a nice sheen to like the purples and the blues and the blacks. Yeah, I think I had Omega Red. I have a few of those. Yeah, I do. But
those would always end up in like the bins. I remember.
Yeah,
they would be discounted. Yeah.
God. Would you rather spend a day in Toys R Us or a day in KB Toy Works? That is a good question.
Could you spend a whole day there? I guess you would. Could we have like our cell phones? We could document things, put it up on eBay.
We could do that. You could do that. Yes.
It really depends. Well, okay. You have to you have to specify the time, because KB was sort of like a time capsule within itself. Okay. But like Toys R Us, I would need it to be like when I was like 9 or 10, and like Turtles and like, were Ghostbusters there? I don't even remember Ghostbusters at Toys R Us. I remember them at Child World, but they must have had them at Toys R Us.
I would need KB Toy Works or even just Toy Works before they merged together. Yeah. In the late in the mid 90s, I would say. If I could go back in time and go to Toy Works in the 90s.
Okay.
We'd have the bins, you'd have all
Bins are great.
Skeleton Warriors, Waterworld, all that shit.
These are the
everywhere.
worst toys, though. Why would you want to see these? You could go to like a crappy toy store now, like a collectible store, and find all that.
You
stuff
could.
that nobody bought.
You could. Oh my goodness.
I want to go back and find one of those walls of like even before we were alive or like cognizant. I wanted to see the wall of Kenner Star Wars because I don't remember it. I never saw it with my eyes in the time I remember it.
The only time I remember seeing anything close to it was the back room at Geppetto's and all the Ewoks that just didn't sell.
Yeah.
That's the closest thing I can remember visually walking in, seeing the wall of Ewoks, always thinking I'm going to find Ramba, and it never happened. And then seeing like the Inhumanoid monsters on the ground and being like, man, that green dude's really cool. And
yeah.
I
should have got that Inspector Gadget. I think almost more so than that, I would want to go back to either like service merchandise or Ames.
Caldor?
Like even Caldor. Not so much Caldor.
Ames would be fun.
It's like one of these, like they had toys, but you didn't think of it. You didn't go there as to you tagged along with someone that was going to buy like clothes. But they every store had
that
toys.
Would be Ames, yes.
It'd be Ames or Bradley's, yeah.
Ames would be great because Ames would have those spin racks of clothes that you would hide in.
Yes.
That is the memory I have from there. And, I was allowed... And they were large toy aisles. It wasn't like what we have today.
No, it was great.
They were great large toy aisles.
It's like bigger than what Target's, like action figure aisle. It was long.
Yes, it was twice. Yeah. It was twice the size, I would say.
Right. Yeah, at least. But we were half the size that we are now. So maybe
we were. So who knows?
Our perception is a little skewed, but yeah, that would be great. If I could just have a day to go back to all the stores, like in that northern Massachusetts, southern New Hampshire area, I would love that. That would just be the best. And then, maybe we could change history a little bit, like maybe make sure that things didn't end up the way they are right now. But if there's time, but mainly the toy stuff is what I would
toy
be
stuff.
In.
You go to the hardware store, grab a shovel and a tote and a box of toys and bury it in the backyard, and then travel forward in time and then pull it out.
There's just fucking gophers in there. Like, damn it! Why didn't I spring for the extra strength bin?
Yes. Oh.
Who knew that plastic would degrade over time? Damn it! So this is not new news. But I want to talk about this because it's just like it's ridiculous, and there's not like much Star Wars stuff to talk about anymore until Andor comes out next year. There was a rumor, I don't know what you call this, like this news came out that at one point George Lucas was considering an additional twist to Phantom Menace that would have changed everything.
I feel like this runs along the same vein as something that was always known that you and I may have known and then gotten forgotten in time and then just resurfaced again.
Oh, really? This was a thing? Oh, okay.
I
don't
remember it.
Information.
I don't remember it. But I'm just saying, like, there's other situations where you and I, know of a certain thing happening, and we've always known, but then new fandom comes in and is like, well, actually, did you realize that this? So, do you want me to talk about it?
Explain what the thought process was here.
So, the thought process for Episode 1, The Phantom Menace, was that Obi-Wan Kenobi, Liam Neeson, would have played Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Right, so
and
Liam Neeson's character's name would have been Obi-Wan. He would have been the same character. He would have been the same character. What we know as Qui-Gon Jinn, but the characters would have referred to him as Obi-Wan Kenobi.
And his Padawan, Ewan McGregor, would have been Qui-Gon Jinn. And all events would have led up to the same battle and Qui-Gon, but Obi-Wan dying at the hands of Darth Maul.
Well,
but the twist,
Liam Neeson's character
Yes,
still
Liam
dies.
Neeson's character would
But
still
his
die.
name was Obi-Wan. So
But his name was Obi-Wan.
dies.
Right.
And Qui-Gon, who is Obi-Wan, would then assume his name, his master's name. He would take his name, and then he would continue on as Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Right.
So this is a very needless twist that I
right, and
thank
I think
George for
people
not going
were trying
forward
to
with.
make a connection with the Rey Skywalker, like it was just sort of a thing that
you would take
character
names.
would adopt the name of a fallen master.
Okay, fair enough.
But that's a stretch.
That's a stretch, yeah.
Thank
Someone
you,
was
George,
saying
for not
that-
making this the twist.
Thank you,
to end
George.
all twists.
Thank you to whomever got in his ear, and he's like, maybe that's enough. Maybe we don't need that extra twist.
Right,
'cause
that
we
was
already
the
got a lot
one.
going.
That was the
we
one.
already
no.
got.
They said yes
Yeah.
to everything else.
They
but
got
that
one
was the
veto.
no. Yes,
That was the one
That was
veto.
it.
Then George is like, all right, so we're doing Jar Jar. Then they're like, damn it, fine, damn it, you tricked me again, George. You're too smart for us. Yeah, I think that would have been just. I don't know what that would have done. I feel like people would have been like, fuck it. It's all stupid.
I mean, I don't know if it would have even had any bearing on anything, because you'd be like, so wait,
Yeah.
no, because then you say,
Could you imagine the
Alec Guinness
toys? Could you imagine the toys coming out before you saw the movie and being so confused? Wait a
Right.
minute. Why is this is a mistake. Buy them all up. It's a mistake.
Revenge of the Obi-Wan Kenobi? What?
Holy what? Yeah, that would have been the funniest part. Toy collectors freaking out. Sir Steve being like, I got a scoop. I got a scoop for
my.
you. Yeah, he would have ruined it. That definitely would have come out. There's no way to hide that twist if the
Yeah.
names are on the product. We put a little sticker over it like the wicked.com stuff. Ridiculous.
Yes, Wicked.com. Go there for all of your parody porn.
Is that where you find that?
Award-winning.
Is that how is that what it's known for?
If you Google it and you get to
a-
that, that's what it is on the Google.
It's like, I really want some good parody, but also I wish they were naked. Like, what is
Yeah.
the thought process here where you're
I
creating
don't know.
this? Like, where you're
Right?
creating it, where it's like, I want to make a comedy, but also I need to sell it.
Yeah. You know,
to,
could
like,
you
this
imagine
very
that guy?
specific
Damn it.
audience.
I've always wanted to direct my own Star Wars movie, but I
Yeah.
can't get into Lucasfilm. Better just make it a porn.
Star Wars, just as good. Just
As good, if not
Just
better.
as good. If not, honestly, that's where you put that twist in.
Yeah.
That's where that twist fits just right. So D23 is a thing that Disney does. It's like their Comic-Con.
Yeah.
Apparently, they have a D23 Brazil.
Yeah,
that
it's an
just
international
happened.
thing, which I
Who
was not
knew?
aware of.
Who knew?
Hey.
So they showed off a bunch of stuff. They had a new Captain America trailer.
Which, listen,
Yeah.
keep going, because I'm at the point with this Captain America movie where it's like, just throw it on Disney Plus and call it a day. You know,
a new term that we learned last week, nauseously optimistic. I am nauseously optimistic that I feel like this movie could be fine, because I
could
like
be.
the idea
No, it's
that
fine.
it's a spy thriller
sure.
and it's got a great cast.
yeah.
Harrison Ford, can't go wrong with him playing a president. Get off my damn plane. The Air Force One reference. And
Yeah, nice.
I feel, but they've done a lot of reshoots. They've had a lot of audience reactions where they clearly did not like it, and they're going back still to shoot more. Carlos
Wow.
Esposito, is that his name? They're doing
Yeah.
more reshoots with him. He wasn't even in it originally. They had to add a whole new villain. That's not a good sign. That's not a
wow.
good sign. But maybe, movie by committee. Eventually you got to get one right. Right? Eventually that's got to work out.
I feel like this Thunderbolts movie has potential. It's got some legs.
I think so too. I think it's one of those ones where we're not really expecting it to be anything.
No, it's
So
like
when
it's like
when it's
Marvel's
good-
Suicide Squad.
Yeah, that's fair. Because it's all the the Marvel Legends from Ollie's. They all came together to
Yeah.
make a movie.
Right.
Like, nobody expects this to be anything. So maybe that
What do they
gives a
call
little less pressure on them.
Dollar Tree. What did they call?
I thought it was the
US
Ollie's.
agent. Was it Dollar Tree?
Dollar Tree
No.
Captain America.
Was that what they called him, or did they call him
Sounds
something
right.
else?
Yeah, that sounds fine. But I
looks
like
fun.
that actor. I like all the actors in it. I think it'll be fun.
Yeah.
Will I see it? I don't know. I'll just wait 60 days. It's on Disney Plus. Isn't Wolverine and Deadpool coming up real soon?
I think tomorrow.
Holy crap! Check that out again, just for the opening.
Or Tuesday,
number.
one of the two. But yeah, no,
Even
it's
better.
just like I like just telling my wife stop seeing movies because every time she sees a movie, every time she buys a movie, it's always like a week later on some streaming service for free.
You're already paying for streaming. Might as well get your money's out of it.
Just wait.
The other thing from Brave New World is there was a poster, and it was Red Hulk punching Cap's shield, and people were like, "Why are there sparks coming off of the shield?" And I was like, "Have you ever seen Power Rangers? They always got sparks coming off them. Like, there's no rationale for it. It's just an effect. It just looks cool."
Yeah.
Remember, these are, I don't know if you know this, but these movies are based on comic books.
Whoa!
So like sometimes they just are cool for the sake of being cool. It doesn't have to make sense.
Visually entertaining.
I think we've all forgotten these are based on funny pages. Also from D23, apparently there was either a photo or a short clip from the next season of X-Men 97, which features Magneto in a beard, presumably to show that time has passed. At least enough time for him to grow a beard.
Wasn't he in the desert last we saw him?
I don't know. I don't even know if that first season's canon anymore.
Oh, no.
I would have wiped it all from canon.
Oh.
Retcons.
Retconned all
Anything
of it.
with Bo's name. Bye-bye, Bo.
This is Bo de Mustard, not Bo de Mayo.
Bo. No de Mozo. I still follow him on Twitter, but like every time he posts, I'm like, I gotta unfollow him. There's nothing more to be gained. Nothing more to be gained from this account that I need to see in my feed. There's enough badness on Twitter. Not everybody, but several people that we enjoy from this community announced that they were leaving Twitter this week, and I cannot blame them. I do not blame them. I'm sticking around. My feeling is I was here first before Elon. So I shouldn't be the one to leave. He should be the one to leave. So I'm going to try to stick it through. It may just be me and some bots by the end, but I'm going to try to stick it through. So they're leaving. They're going to Blue Sky or whatever. What is it?
Paul and his bots.
Paul and my bots. Bot Master. Bots Master. It should be Bot Master, not Bots Master. Remember those toys? Yes. Those would be a KB. If you went back to KB, doesn't matter the year. They would have Bots Master toys. And then also at D23, they had some CGI footage of what the new Cars Land ride at Magic Kingdom will look like. Yeah. And it's basically off-roading. It's just a big dirt track, but I guess it's a trackless vehicle. So it's like you're just driving. But then it's like, everyone's like, oh, there's going to be a giant dust cloud around the Magic Kingdom. Because they're tearing down a third of the park. Like everything from the Haunted Mansion to Big Thunder Mountain, they're getting rid of to put the stupid Cars thing in.
Oh, fucking Cars.
Which I don't like. And then there's like the Villains Land is going there too. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's not what I want at my Magic Kingdom. I want to be immersed in 1920s America and earlier. That's what I want. If you have Tomorrowland, keep all that shit over there. Everything else, I want to feel like I just stepped off a rusty boat. I want to feel like the internet has not been invented yet, at least.
Oh,
that's what I want from my Magic Kingdom.
I don't want to see a single Disney vlogger.
Oh my God! I didn't see too many. I think they all waited for the show, but I did see a few people with the stabilizer and the mic. They always have the fuzzy mic because of the wind. Yes. But I was thinking about I want to shoot some footage there, but it's impossible to get good audio because there's music all the time, loud music. So it's impossible to get good audio, directly there.
They do that on purpose.
Of course, it's very smart. But I'm just thinking, as someone who would want to create content there, it's impossible to have dialogue.
Of course,
so you have to ADR that shit. But that's fine. Just
one more thing from D23. We got our first look at the psychotic alien Stitch,
which I think looks good.
He looks good. There was something distracting, there was wispy hairs on his ears that was bothering the hell out of me.
You know what I think that is? There's writing on the wall behind him. I'm looking at it right
Okay.
now. I feel like that's what you're thinking. What you think you're seeing is actually like text behind him. I could be wrong.
Okay, because I'm just
But I do
seeing
see
like
that.
these tiny little wispy hairs.
Well, he's got the wisps like the his ears sort of like curl. So he's got
Right.
like like any animal has like that. So I feel like
Sure.
that's fine. I think it looks fine. I'm again nauseously optimistic about this. But it's very faithful. They did not stray too far in the design. He definitely just looks like a blue squirrel dog, which is what he should look like. And the voice is pretty easy to replicate. You just try to talk like this. So I feel like this will be fine. We'll get some nice shots of Hawaii, and who doesn't like that? So yeah, great. Looking forward to that. Can't screw that one up, right? As long as the rock's not in it, I think it'll be fine. All right. Anything else for this week?
No.
Big week?
I can't think of
No.
anything.
Very good.
Hopefully I get back to being healthy again. And not...
You were fine. Your voice really recovered. I was concerned in the beginning.
Not
but you
sickly?
that drink you had, whatever it was, really
It
did
was
you-
a
did you
miraculous
favors. Yeah.
juice. Miracle elixir. A tonic. if you
America
will.
elixir. Made from snakes.
Yes.
All right, everybody. Well, you know what we say. We don't want to grow up, but we already did. Have a great week, everybody.
Bye, everyone.